Hey guys, it's your boy Ruff. Welcome to another Tuesday video, and today we're going to be actually doing a live recording. Usually I record some gameplay and then talk about something, and then that's it. I don't actually do it live, but I'm going to be doing it live today. I figured that it's kind of interesting, and you guys can watch me play some Final Fantasy, which I play a ton of on the PC, Final Fantasy 14 that is. And it works out perfect because today I want to talk about the three types of games and sales and the way games are working. So you have your free-to-play games, your buy-to-play games, and then your subscription games, which is what I'm playing right now. So while this creepy thing comes towards us with this, people are obviously something's going on with their brains. So we're going to get a little bit more commentary live, which is going to be interesting, I think. But I want to talk about this because it's getting very popular. Free-to-play is becoming more and more popular. You're seeing a lot of free-to-play games coming to the PS4 and the console. They've been on the PC for a long time, but you don't really see, it's difficult to, I guess, get a free-to-play game on before the PS4 to get it going on the console. But now with the PS4 and the Xbox One, games like World of Tanks that are free, and they're actually really good games, which is interesting. But what is the difference between these, and which one do I like the best? Well, it really depends, because I think they're all three very viable, obviously, which is why they're in the industry. But let's start off with the most popular one, which is buy and play, which is basically like your normal games like Call of Duty. Pretty much every game out there for the most part are buy and play. They have DLC that you can buy, and you can kind of just buy as much as you need, depending on how much you enjoy playing the game. And I think this is obviously good because, and I'm a huge fan of DLC, by the way. I know some gamers aren't. They're like, well, if you already made this part of the game, why don't you just give it to me? But my big thing is they do that to make it cheap, so that way you can buy it for $60 and then you invest into it more as much as you're willing to. So for example, Call of Duty is a great example of this, because I can go buy Call of Duty, play the base game, the story, and then actually buy the DLC if I'm continue to be interested in the game. But if they just gave me everything, they would have to charge more, right? Like maybe like $120. So, because I think that's how much the season passes are like $60 or something like that. So instead of a $120 game, I'm only having to pay $60. But that's for a whole nother topic about DLC. But buy to play is obviously very easy, and that's usually done with games that have a development cycle where they make a game and they're done. Subscription-based games like we're playing right now need to have a subscription, and that's usually with MMOs, because there's so much maintenance to have to be done. With a normal game like Dark Souls, for example, you come out with the game, if there's any issues, they will patch it over time, but not a lot, right? They generally only patch the really big glitches or something that people find. And so it's a little interesting to say that buy to play needs to have a lot of updates, because they usually don't. While a subscription, they have a maintenance every week, because there are a bunch of issues and things going on where you need to be able to fix those issues, because people are playing this so often and the servers are changing, and the different types of things that they change in the game, they have to be able to have maintenance. So it's very, very important. The most interesting one, I think, out of these three, though, is the free-to-play, because there's so many different ways to do free-to-play that it can really cause the game to be poor and end up not being that good of a game. I think the prime example of this is something like Star Wars: The Old Republic, where it has such a paywall, and that's generally the case with a lot of free-to-play games, where sure, you can play it for free, but the problem is, what is it going to do for you? Because you're going to have to, in Star Wars, you get almost nothing playing it for free. Sure, you get some content, but for the most part, you don't really get to have that much fun, because you're so limited unless you pay a subscription or actually buy into quite a bit of what they have on their store. So I personally love subscription-based MMOs, for example. MMOs are probably my favorite type of game, so I'm a big fan, and that's why I play WoW and Final Fantasy. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you pay $30 a month. But in reality, that's not that bad, because the amount of time that I play, I'm paying like maybe 50 cents to $1 an hour, which is insane. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but in reality, that's a good thing, because I'm getting a lot for my money, and which is great, which is the whole point. You know, if you go to a movie nowadays, you're paying $7.50 an hour or something like that. So depending on if it's IMAX and all that, so it's very good value, even though you're paying a subscription for what you're getting and all the updates that they're coming out with. Although you could argue WoW has not been doing the best job of that. But games like World of Tanks, which are free, and Smite, for example, which I played in a video a couple weeks ago, those are actually really good games to use as an example for free to play, because they don't require you to really pay for anything, and you can completely play the full game. You never feel like you're missing out or anything, and that's great, because in reality, that's what we want as gamers, right? We want to be able to get a game and just play it. That's why buy to play is so popular, because of the fact that you can just buy it and play it. Unfortunately, with MMOs, which is my favorite game type, you have to actually be able to be willing to have some sort of basically store or something to make money off of you. And that's why mobile games are the same thing with free to play. You know, you download these mobile games, but then they want you to buy all these in-game apps. So it's just different. But in the end, I think they all are valuable, but you just have to determine which one fits you. Personally, I cannot play a free-to-play game that's not like World of Tanks. And even World of Tanks, I like to invest some, because it does help. Unlike, you know, some other free-to-play games that may not be quite that way. So we'll see. But I don't know. I just think that subscription-based games are definitely better as far as MMOs, and I really want to make this video more about MMOs. You know, Elder Scrolls is a buy-to-play MMO, which is awesome. The fact that you can buy the game, and they do have a lot of DLC, and they have a lot of in-game, like, you know, basically cosmetics. This game also has cosmetics that you can buy, but because it's a subscription base, there's nothing holding you back. When you start playing Final Fantasy and you're paying that, you know, $15 a month, you're getting the full game. You're getting everything that you possibly would need to play this game, and I think that is huge. So I wanted to, you know, really bring you guys this video tonight, because I love playing MMOs. It's one of my favorite things to do. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to set up my ability to record on my PC. But I finally figured out some good settings. It's not as good quality, probably, as my... Let's see, where are we going? We're going to go to Zenith. It's probably not the best quality in the world, but you know what? It's still fun to be able to bring you guys this. And now that I am going to be able to record, I can bring you even more games that I have over on Steam, which is really cool, and I'm excited about being able to do that as well. So which game type do you guys like? Personally, I'm not a big fan of the free-to-play MMOs. Are pretty much horrible for the most part. You know, World of Tanks is considered an MMO, but it's different. I feel like it's got a different feel to it. While, you know, a game like this and WoW, I don't mind paying the subscription because of what I'm getting for it. So let me know what you guys think and how you guys like this kind of live play. It's, you know, it is definitely different than going through and doing the recording, and playing at the same time is definitely a little harder, but less editing on my part, having to do all that. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the video today. Why can I not talk to this guy? What's going on? Oh, that's because I'm doing a quest. Duh. So, yeah, that's it. I want to see if you guys want to see me play more of this, because I love Final Fantasy and I love MMOs in general. But again, like I said, I've never really been able to, because I play all my MMOs on the PC. I haven't been able to really find good settings until now to do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and would like to see some more content, as I am a chef flying on the back of a dragon, only in Final Fantasy. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys like. Do you prefer free-to-play games? Do you like them? I mean, the advantage obviously is you can test it out without having to have any investment into it. But then, you know, it slowly starts taking away at your wallet if you really want to get involved in most of those. Buy to play is great, but you usually don't get all the content and you have to buy more. And then, of course, subscription based, you get everything, but you have to pay a subscription. So I think they all have good things, but they also all have kind of negatives towards them. So which ones do you guys like personally? If you play an MMO, let me know which MMO you play, 'cause if you've ever played one, and tell me which one's your favorite, and we'll talk about it. And hopefully this live play is not too bad. It's just something I decided to try out, and figured you guys would like it. So that's it for today's video. I'm gonna finish up my dailies here, and if you guys want to see some more actual, like, more in-depth Final Fantasy videos, I'd love to do that, because it's probably honestly one of my favorite games right now, and I would love to bring you guys some of that content. So just let me know. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Ruff out.